600 hours is a whole lot. It's a lot more than we ask of our undergraduates here at UCLA when they need to pass their foreign language requirement in the College of Arts and Letters. The German government took large pains to portray language as a political or as a civic category and not as an ethnic one. Their claims were undermined completely, though, when the so-called Russian Germans were automatically granted citizenship, and they do not have to pass this test. So language, again, became fairly clearly an ethnic category and not a political or a civic one. These were the special accommodations for the Spätaussiedler or late repatriates. This is the category of the Russian Germans. So the question that I ask myself, and I think that is very important that we ask ourselves, is when does linguistic performance become a matter of legal relevance with serious consequences? If a foreign worker in Germany who has a job, who has a residency permit, takes this class and does not pass the language test, which might be a fairly random way of assessing language competence anyway. What happens to this person? Do they have to leave? Do they have to take the test again? It's not clear. The law has not been enforced for long enough for us to say anything about that. But certainly there can be very, very important and difficult consequences. And then the other important aspect where language performance plays a role is the so-called language analysis for the determination of origin. And this is a language test that maybe many of you know about, that often comes into play with asylum seekers. And as I said before, Germany is also a popular destination for asylum seekers. And many European countries, including Germany, are rumored to utilize language analysis to determine if the asylum seeker really does come from the place or the country that he or she claims they are coming from, and not from some other so-called safe third-party country. And there, of course, the way your language is assessed might at some point be a matter of life and death if you're sent back to a war-torn country, or if you're granted asylum. Depends on how your linguistic performance is evaluated. Thank you.
So we have some time still for questions and comments for Jennifer.
Do you have much information on how the 600 hours was established? If you do a 40-hour per quarter course in terms of a language course, and you do 3 in sequence a year, that's 5 years of language courses, at a university level.
Yeah, there are several different modules. And you can take the class as an intensive class, or the whole course is an intensive course, and then you can be done fairly quickly. You can also take it in evening classes or weekend classes. So it's up to you or your work schedule on how quickly you can get through these courses. There's this is all in a testing phase right now. They're trying to figure out what will work, what won't work, what's accepted, what's not accepted.
And how did they determine the 600 hours as a threshold?
That I don't have any information about. It's random. Actually, those 600 hours that's not the whole thing. In addition to that, there's another 40 hours of a culture course that's tacked on. So it's more than 600.
What is the curriculum for the courses?
Yeah, that's still. language teachers, because suddenly there's a whole lot more jobs for language teachers, for pedagogues. There's a need for new textbooks. There's a need for new studies on what works best, what doesn't work. There's a whole need for assessing the outcome of these classes. So it's mixed.
It's interesting that probably there's a disparity between what they're requiring for the Common European Framework for foreign language education, like English or Spanish or whatever within Germany, and what they're requiring, which to get to the highest levels would be many fewer than 600 hours.
They claim that those 600 hours take you to B1.
B1.
Yeah.
That seems very excessive to me because I know the framework pretty well. But and then what they would require a foreign language versus German language. Seems to me like there would be a big gap there. Yeah.
It was very interesting for me because my second language was Russian, and so Russian Germans, so-called Russian Germans, so do not have to take pass the exam.